Like a man going off on an extended trip. He called his servants together and delegated responsibility. To one he gave $5,000, to another $2,000, and to the third one $1,000, depending on their abilities. Then he left. Right off, the first servant went to work and doubled the master's investments. The second did the same. But the man with the single $1,000 dug a hole and carefully buried his master's money. After a long absence, the master of those three servants came back and settled up with them. The one given $5,000 showed him how he had doubled his investment. His master commanded, "Good work, you did well. From now on, be my partner." The second with the $2,000 showed his master how he had doubled his investment. His master commanded him, "Good work, you did well. From now on, be my partner." The servant given $1,000 said, "Master, I know you have high standards and hate careless ways, that you demand the best and make no allowance for error. I was afraid I might disappoint you, so I found a good hiding place and secured your money. Here it is, safe and sound down to the very last cent." The master was furious. That's a terrible way to live. It's criminal to live cautiously like that. If you knew I was after the best, why did you do less than the least? The least you could have done would have been to invest the sum with the bankers, where at least I could have gotten a little interest. So again, my assignment on tonight is talking about leveling up. What do you do with what's given to you? As Bishop had said, the other day, how he had taken me from admin and put me over to the youth department. There were some things that I had to do to kind of take that from where it was to the next level. But just to back up and to look at this story a little bit, there are a couple points that I want to point out. The servant obviously didn't trust his leader, didn't know his leader. Because if he knew his leader was an investor, investors do what? They invest money. They like money. So why in the world would he take it and bury it in a hole? He didn't know his leader. And I know we've heard some of this, through the week, but it'll be a refresh. You gotta trust your leader. When Bishop came to me about transitioning from admin to youth department, part of me thought he had lost his mind. I'm like, this man, he need to go on fast, or did he just come off fast? Do he need a piece of meat? What is going on? Like, really? I had been admin, that was my thing. I wore it like an old house slipper. I could do it in my sleep. It was just, I could do it. That's me. I've always been an administrator, going back to high school, thinking even back younger than that. Me and my cousins doing babysitting. I was the one that collected the money and got all things together. It's my nature. So admin was easy for me. So when he came to me talking about, check this out, I want you to pray about it. I'm like, oh Lord. How about you take on youth pastor and you totally remove you from admin? You want me to do what? Now, I was like, okay, I'll take it on, but I don't want the title. No, he said it's a package deal. Pray about it. So I'm like, okay, God, since I can't sleep, I might as well talk to you about this thing, because this is going to be a real game changer for myself personally, as well as for the ministry. And so I had to really think about it, take a step back and say, you know what? Even though I don't understand this, I really am uncomfortable with this, I gotta trust my leader. Because if he thinks that much of me to be on his team, to move me from a position that I know I was like his right arm, and maybe his fingers at times, and sometimes his toes, if he's willing to take that risk to move me, I gotta trust him. Amen? I gotta know that he knows that God has a bigger plan for my life, even when I don't see it. I've gotta know that he's taking time to say, you know what? I'm willing willing to make this investment in this young lady and willing to take this risk. He don't want to see his team fail. So why would he set me up to fail? Amen? Amen. So you got to know your leader. You got to trust your leader. You have to be able to follow them even when you don't understand what they're saying. Amen? So he knew my capabilities. He knew my skill set. He knew my integrity. You don't just give anybody your money. You got to take inventory of who that person is. You got to take inventory of what they're going to do with your baby, with your investment. I mean, we're not talking about no little bit of money in this story. You don't just give a 2-year-old $1,000. Even if it's $1,000, you take care, you take pride and thought into what you're going to do with that money. Amen? Amen. So know your leader. The second thing, so after I finished struggling with moving to youth department, I had to own it. So what does owning it mean? I had to go and find out from my leader what exactly was his heart for the youth department. What did he want to see happen? What was his vision? Now, being his admin for so many years, there were certain conversations that I had been privy to, so I kind of had an idea of what he wanted. But do you know your leader's vision for your department? Greeters, do you know your leader's vision for your department? Women's department, do you know your leader's vision for your department? Men's department, social media, sound room. Each department has a vision that is attached to our bishop's ultimate bigger vision for the ministry. Do you know your leader's vision? Because that's your blueprint. That's your guide plan as to what you're going to do. It's not about what I want to do. It's not about my vision and my plan and what I have, my agenda. It's about his agenda, but ultimately it's about God's agenda. Amen? So Bishop's vision for the youth department, one of the main things he said was, I want our kids so excited about coming to their church. Okay, cool. He just wanted them excited about coming to their church. So what did I do? The entire year, it was just about them being excited about coming to their church. Excited about coming to their church. Whether it was paintballs, whether it was hot chocolate and popcorn, whether it was water fights, they was excited about coming to their church. But I had to sit and I had to listen to my bishop, listen to my leader. I had to get the strategy from the coach as he talked about on Monday in that huddle. Amen? So I had to own it. I had to. The next thing I did was assess the land. Before the year was over, I started going and sitting in children's church, talking to some of the staff, went and see, what's working, what's not working, what are some of your frustrations. Talked to Pastor Kim, talked to some of the kids. I did a snap and chat with some of the teens, get some of their ideas. What would you like to see? What would you like to do? Talk to some of the parents. What helps you? What would be helpful for you as a parent? You got to figure out what is needed in order to move forward, in order to level up. I need to take a break because I forgot to do something. So here you see all of these little pieces, right? All of these, this is how your ministry is sometimes given to you. Right? All discombobulated. You got pieces over here. You got some in the bag. You got some that don't quite match up. This is how it's given to you. What do you do with it? Do you just kind of babysit it and leave it like this? This is what managers do. Managers do this. This is what they just move pieces around. This is what managers do. This is all they do. But this is not what God is requiring us to do. Amen? Brother Jonathan, he's gonna help me out this evening. I'm going to give you something I need you to work on. Just come get this. Leave that there. I just need you to hold this. I'll be back for it. Yes, take it with you. He didn't listen to the instructions, y'all. So the other part in terms of assessing the land, and so we gotta own it. We gotta assess the land. We gotta develop a plan. You gotta own it. You gotta assess the land. You gotta develop a plan. So in developing a plan, one of the first things I knew I needed to do was I needed to build relationship. I needed to build relationship internally as well as externally. Okay? Because we're all on one kingdom assignment. Every church within this world, we all have one kingdom assignment. How many assignments? One. God, it sounds too convincing. How many assignments? One. There we go. So, one of the first things I did was I started connecting with other youth ministries outside the church. Amen, Sister Tamara? I started connecting with other youth ministries outside the church because I knew that, number one, I couldn't do this alone. That I needed to connect with other people because I knew eventually they're going to have something that I needed to be a part of, and I was going to have something that they needed to be a part of. But you can't do that without relationship. In order to build and go to the next level, you have to have relationship. Okay? You have to go and support other people's events. You have to go and support other youth departments, other choir anniversaries. You have to do some things sometimes you really don't feel like doing. Amen. You have to sow some seeds somewhere in order for those things to come back to you. Amen? So you got to develop a relationship externally. Internally, what did I do? I asked everybody. I was recruiting everybody. January of last year, I probably had 17 children's church teachers. Ask me how many I had December 31st. Exactly. Me and Sister Ronisha. But I recruited everybody. I was pulling out everybody. I even almost had Deacon Mike in the children's church. I asked Sister Teresa. And she did a phenomenal job, but you gotta recruit. You gotta ask everybody. You got to involve everybody. You gotta connect with other departments. I connected with evangelism. I connected with the music department. I connected with the greeters. I connected with the ushers. I had kids in the sound room. I had, even at one point, I had kids that wanted to serve Bishop and First Lady. Brother Jared did for a little bit. So we connected, our department connected with every department. You have to build relationship. Okay? Even in terms of, our Wednesdays, we did something called Wacky Wednesdays. I had Brother Trent out there. I had Brother Jonathan out there. I had Brother Maurice out there. I tapped into what other people were good at and had them come and teach our children. So how can you do that in your ministry? How can the men's department tap into the youth department? How can the women's department tap into the youth department to have them help you do something? It's not always a one-way street. Y'all don't have to always come and help my department. How can we help your department? We're here to build together. We have how many assignments? Amen. So, again, think about those things. Who are some people that you can connect with and build relationship within your ministry and outside of your ministry to bring it to the next level? The other thing that I did in terms of recruiting, which I found out after I listened to Samuel Chan again, I asked for volunteers. When you ask for volunteers, the right people never volunteer. Okay? So you ask for a van driver, the person that don't have a license, I'll drive. You ask for, I can go on, but I won't. But Samuel Chan says you have to be strategic about recruiting. And that was one of the things I learned. You have to be strategic about recruiting because the right volunteers will never volunteer. There will be people that know how to do something, but won't volunteer. They'll sit there and be like, doo. It's like, okay, well, I've been saying I needed somebody that knows how to paint for the last 6 months. Well, I paint every day. Nobody asked me. But I've been asking for volunteers. So you have to be strategic in building those relationships. Amen? Amen. So the other thing that I'm still working on, but I know it's a part of leveling up, is developing a team. The acronym for team, does anybody know what the acronym for team stands for? Absolutely. Together, everyone accomplishes more. So, in developing a team, you have to really think about, what does my team look like? Who do I need on my team? How many people do I need on my team? Okay? A team can't be comprised of just one person. That one person will get burnt out. First Lady talked about burnout. It will happen very quickly. Very, very quickly. So take the time to really think about, who do I need on my team? You might not need a big team. You might just need a good 3 strong, dedicated, committed 3 people. It's amazing what you could do with somebody with commitment and consistency. I'll take 3 good, committed people over 12. Amen? I just met with somebody Bishop connected me with as a mentor, and that's one of the nuggets I took away from our meeting. He said, don't go after the 12. You don't need 12. You don't need the 12 disciples to build your team right now. Go after the 2 or 3 that you can get committed to say, you know what, I got you. That even in your absence, your team will still be able to function. Your department will still be able to function. Okay? Because a lot of times we get so involved and we get so entangled in what we're doing that if we're not there, the thing might crumble. Whatever it is, and you never want that to be said in the house of God. The house of God should always be working like a well-oiled machine. One monkey should not stop your show. Okay? Because it's not about you. It's about the souls that come in. That are looking for God. And they have to see the house of God in order. They have to see things functioning as they should be functioning. So if you say you got greeters and they pull up and there's no greeters because you sick, where's your team? If you say you have a children's ministry and you call out and there's no children's ministry, where's your team? You say you got a praise and worship team and your musician ain't here, where's your team? You've got to have a strong team. The other thing in terms of building a relationship was mentorship. Now, mentorships can be a physical person. It can be somebody you can go and sit and talk to. It can be books. One of the other things that I've done is I follow a lot of mega churches on social media. So like the Potter's House. I follow Elevation Church. That was one of the things I started doing back when I was in admin and started watching their social media. Because Elevation Church, their social media is bomb. Their social media is everything. They are the church right now when it comes to social media and marketing and advertising. So you want to look at those mega churches. You want to look at those other churches. I look at Cathedral Church in Hartford. I follow and see what they're doing because you can glean from other ministries. There's nothing new under the sun, right? So why reinvent the wheel? Why reinvent the wheel? Okay. The other thing that I do is on social media, there are a bunch of different groups and private pages. So there's a Kid Men page that I follow. There's a children's pastors page that I follow. And There's all kinds of great information that they're posting in there. Sometimes people are just venting about their frustration about how bad somebody's kids was at children's church, or how they handle disciplinary, or how they handle, vacation Bible school, or how they handle check-ins, how they handle different things that come up. Just so much information that you can get from just being a part of a Facebook group. We're a social media technology era, so everything is right at our fingertips. We just have to go out and search it out. So being a part of those different pages and watching different things, you can get a wealth of information. And then going back to mentors, one of the other things that I want to point out to is your mentor doesn't have to be somebody you can physically touch. I know Sister Shab, a couple of the singers that she looks at as mentors are on social media, like Miranda Curtis. You're just following what they're doing, seeing what the trends are in that different ministry, seeing what's next, seeing what's going on, seeing what's changing, seeing what might be available, seeing what conferences they might be going to that you might be interested in. Everything isn't just here in New Haven. There's so much to ministry outside of Connecticut, outside of New Haven, outside of Hampton. Amen? So the other thing I knew I had to do was I had to develop some momentum. With developing momentum came consistency. So I knew that come January, I had to grab the kids' attention. So what I did was I had a lock-in. What are you doing to grab your volunteers or your group's attention? The men's department, what are you doing to grab their attention? To say, you know what, when the men have something, I'm going to be there because I know I'm going to get something out of it. I know they're going to produce. I know I'm going to have a good time. I know the men are going to get together and we're going to pray, or we're going to fast, or we're going to see a good movie, or there's going to be great fellowship. What are you doing to grab that momentum? Because once you get in it, if you don't have some good momentum going, it's hard to catch the ball. It's very hard to catch the ball because there's so much grabbing our attention these days. So you really gotta kick the ball off really high. It's a challenge, absolutely. And sometimes we feel like, well, you know what, this is church. People should want to be here. People should want God, but that's not the age we live in. It's a different age. So we're competing with so many other things. We're competing with things that are going on in society. We're competing with social media. So do we resist it? Or do we try to embrace it and bring it in as a part of what we're doing to capture our audience? Amen? So I know what the kids is, I had to be consistent. So they know every time we do something, they're going to get candy. Sorry, parents. They know that. They know that if they behave, they're going to get candy. So that consistency helps. It helps my behavioral plan. Because they'll be here like, come on man, be quiet, sit down. We're going to lose our candy today. But you know what? Every time they was good, I made sure on my promise. And they got that candy. So now they're checking each other. They're checking each other because of my consistency. It's like Maslow's. Any psychology people in here? No? Okay. Yes. So yes, it's about conditioning. He knew, the dog knew every time that bell rang, he was gonna salivate, thank you. And he was gonna get the treat. He was gonna get the food. And so that's the same thing. Gotta be consistent. If you say you're gonna do something, do it. If you say every first Tuesday, we're gonna be here at 6 o'clock and we're gonna pray, guess what you should be doing? That's how you take your ministry to the next level. Consistency. You want people to follow you? You gotta be consistent. Amen? You gotta stay focused. Things are gonna happen. Your plans are gonna change. Bishop's gonna throw you off. Your pastor's gonna throw you off, yes. He'll have a whole different agenda. But you know what? You gotta submit and say, okay, this is what Bishop said we're doing today. I don't know how many Sundays I came in here all excited. We're gonna do this today. I'm setting up the classroom. Bishop comes in for morning meeting. All right, everybody, I want everybody in the sanctuary. Like what? Like what? I had this, and I was gonna do this. And I just stand there, yes sir. Radisha comes running in with her bag that I done called her to get like 20 minutes ago. And now she's 45 minutes late for church. Because we all excited about our plan for children's church. And he done shut us down, but she don't know this yet. But guess what? We said, okay, no problem, we'll do it next week. Come and sit in the sanctuary. You have to be flexible. You have to be able to say, okay, you know what? I know we said we were going to be outside doing something, and now the weather's changed. Man, we're going to come inside and we're going to do A, B, and C. I'm just picking on you, Brother Reggie, because I can see you right here. But you have to be able to be flexible. When things change, you got to be flexible. Amen? Amen. Always have a backup plan.
That's good.
Always have a backup plan. Again, I come in on Sunday thinking, all right, I got 17 million children's church teachers lined up for the year. I could come and sit in service, get my worship on. Just go peek my head in children's church. Tap my teacher, it's like, they just did offering. Oh, it's my Sunday to teach. So now I gotta come up with a backup plan. Because why? We've advertised and announced that there will be children's church dismissed immediately after offering. All the children, please go to the other side of the sanctuary and Pastor Plummer will be seeing your children. I gotta have a backup plan. So now I'm standing there looking at these kids who know when you're not prepared. They know, because their behavior be on the turn up. Okay? They know when you're not prepared. So what did I have to do? I had to start preparing myself the night before and studying my teacher's lesson, just in case they didn't show up. So what's your backup plan for your ministry? If the musician don't show up, what's your backup plan? Greeters, if your assigned person don't show up, what's your backup plan? Sound room, if the assigned person don't show up, what's your backup plan? We can't just say, you know what? Oh well, Chad ain't here, I guess we ain't having praise and worship. We just gonna pray and have the word. What does that say about God's house? What does that say about us as people of God? Amen? Amen. So even in that same vein, we have to be accountable. In order to bring your ministry to the next level, you have to be accountable to your leader. You have to be accountable to those on your team. Furthermore, you have to be accountable to God. Being accountable to your leader, what does that look like? Well, it looks like keeping him in the loop as to everything that's going on. Sometimes I tell people here in the beginning, just send Bishop an email. He is the master communicator. You can never over-communicate with Bishop Robert Middleton. Never. Did I say never? Never. Okay? And if he's not asking you anything, that means he knows you got it. He knows you got it. But keep him informed as to what's going on. Okay, Bishop, we just had this. You know, this is what's going on. X amount of people showed up. It was great. It wasn't great. It flopped. Whatever. I learned the lesson. This is what I plan on doing next time. Keep him in the loop. You never want him to be caught off guard. Even if something bad happens, you want your bishop, your pastor, your leader to know what's going on. That's how you're able to go to the next level. Amen. If you're not getting feedback from your leader to say, okay, you know what, this was good, but why don't you try this next time? Or, okay, good job, keep up the good work. You don't know whether to go forward, go backward, or whether you're still on task, on the vision. You got to get feedback from your leader. In terms of your team, you need to know where they're at. Whether it's a good fit for them, Whether they have any suggestions, ideas, I'm always asking, what can we do? Anybody got any ideas? Anybody got any feedback? Because I want to know. That's how you grow. You can't have all the ideas yourself. God didn't give it all to, that's why we're a body, but jointly fit together. Everybody has something to offer. Everybody has a different idea. Everybody has a different lens on how they see things, on how they think things can be done. And that's what a team is about. It's all about coming together, amen? Because at the end of the day, you want to make sure that when Jesus returns, he's able to say, well done, thy good and faithful servant. Brother Jonathan, I think my trusty assistant, can you bring me back my items, please? Of course. It's a llama, I'm sorry. Correction. But this is what God expects us to do with what He gives us. This is what He expects. He expects us to take this, and when He comes back for it looks like something different. It looks like we built on it. We brought it to the next level. If you're still doing this, just moving stuff around, chances are you're not cut out to be a leader. And that's okay. That's okay. But if you're just doing this, you're just holding us up from doing this. You're holding us up from going to this next level. So, take your accountability. Take trust knowing that your leaders trust you. Take collaboration and building relationships. Take all those things that I just talked about and build it to get to that next level. Amen? Amen. Any questions? Any questions? Go once. Go twice. I'm learning off this week.
Take your Bible with you.
I'm going to take my stuff back to children's church.